Hello everyone, good afternoon. As you can see, there's another batch of Indian yellow turning around at the moment. And I will just wait until a few more people have arrived. Ian, welcome. Thanks for joining. So I'll be just giving this another go, since the one that I made last live actually is still drying, but it actually turned out quite orangey yellow, which is good. So I think I'm onto something more than just making Indian yellow. I think I'm onto something that actually gives us the warm leaning hue that we kind of know and love about Indian yellow, that was kind of just still missing a bit from my earlier versions. I did put them in their own little jar, not purified yet, not ground yet, but just, as they were in their Petri dishes. I can show you the one. So this is definitely a more orangey yellow, but well, especially from the bottom, it's not really clear with the glass, but it's drying, so there's an oxidation layer already kind of happening on the outside. Also with this, there's another experiment. Namely I already kind of shaped it in an eighth of a ball, instead of spreading it out fully on the Petri dish, to see if there's any kind of color still developing on the inside where there's no oxygen. Gulchen, welcome. Thanks for joining. So that's kind of just like I said, there's a lot of things in my head, what I'm thinking about. A watercolorist, welcome. Dance with Artworks, was it Mike? I think I want to say Mike. Welcome. So that's kind of the thing I was also thinking about, since it's, it used to be kind of the urine of it used to be collected, dried out, and then since it's an organic mass, there's a lot of stuff in there which makes it kneadable. Teddy, welcome. Oh, there's already a good group of you. Didn't expect that during the day without any announcing the live. So that was, I think maybe there's a little bit of a color still kind of developing, since the longer I let it sit, it also solidifies it in a different way, whether I still keep it in the crucible or if I were to put it in a Petri dish spread out. So there's a little bit of a combination here going on. So this has been going for quite a while, but I don't think long enough. If I turn this off and I'm letting it sink down, I'm looking at the top layer here, what kind of color that gives me. And this is already way more orangey than it was an hour ago. An hour ago, that top liquid was quite a pale yellow. So the longer I let this sit, the smaller that last layer will get, that bottom layer. But we want it to react a little bit more. You're on holiday at watercolorist. That's and sounds relaxing. Hopefully it is. I'm going to make a cup of coffee. And today, you know, I thought yeah, especially I like it when you turn it on, that cloud of the solids in there. Maybe there's, I don't know if you already bought it, but maybe there's some advice here from people. I know I use a lot of Muller paper. Because of a few reasons. I really like the feel of it. Strathmore is great as well, by the way, but yeah. I think that's just because that's what I used when I was in art school. And that stuck. Which happens a lot, by the way. I was not really speaking towards someone, but there were some someone was reacting on a post, and it kind of went back and forth a little bit, and there were people who were still kind of using the brand that they used either the first time they started using watercolor, or when they were in art school, or when they started a course and someone recommended it, and they never just tried anything else, which is interesting. And I noticed that that's what, you know, that happened for me a lot as well. I think when it comes to certain art materials, there's still a few that I would say, you know, I would first look at a certain brand just because I have good experience with it. Without having any experience with others. But yeah, that's kind of, I think everyone has that. But it's a way of thinking that I haven't thought about in a while, because now I really think pigments. When I want, obviously I'm a paint maker, but when I want a certain color, I think about a certain pigment. I'm going to look for that pigment, and I find the brands that have that pigment instead of looking what my brand has and buying something that comes close. But fortunately, a lot of brands carry a lot of pigments nowadays. So. Okay, I'm going to make a cup of coffee. You keep an eye on this. also I hope someone else will get that. Okay, coffee is almost finished. I thought, you know, well, this is kind of still running. It would still be nice to put. I'm not going to use mummy brown or Paris green. I'm staying away from those. At least during the lives. I wanna, yeah, or at all, basically. But I thought, you know, maybe it's nice to see how Indian yellow would mix with a pigment like manganese blue, to have that heavy granulation with that, you know, also kind of, I want to say mythical feel to it, although it is way more common than Indian yellow. Two parts of that watercolorist. There has been some research in. Well, I've shared one of the articles about that, about the compounds, about that, and then I've been looking into how I can replicate whatever is going on in the cow's stomach, and what happened there, what phases there were in going from a leaf to a yellow ball. So yeah, it's a little bit of chemistry and a little bit of a lot of creativity and imagination that eventually formed into a process that I can kind of control in a quite a, well, I can control it quite well. Let me just put it like that. But there's, you know, I'm not using cow's urine. I'm not using any stomach acids. I'm not using anything like that. So yeah, there's a lot of experimentations going on with what kind of acid should you use, what kind of salts should you use, what kind of pH is there, and what kind of color components are most reactive on which pH. It doesn't smell at all. It smells like coffee now, to be honest. No, it's If anything, I would say orange peel, not orange zest, but also the bitter part of it, without the orange part. It's like a not citrus, but it's like a peel of something that doesn't smell very acidic or sweet, but it has that freshness. Same as leaves have a certain kind of fresh green smell to them. But that's just very vaguely there. If I put my nose in it, I will notice. I am working on an experiment, but that takes a few days to a week. It's on its way, Ian. It should be there somewhere between now and next week. So I'm working on an experiment that might give me a smell, not so pleasant smell. But that would still take a few days before I know if that works. So what I'm basically doing there, since the main line, the kind of the baseline, what I'm following is the natural process of it. This is the only, I think, vaguely recorded, to be honest, process of making a pigment in history that where an animal has been used as a way, as a machine, as a method of making a pigment happen. Animals have been used, like cochineal and Tyrian purple as a dye. They have been used to make colors, but not to manufacture colors for people. And that process, what I'm kind of, what I said, I'm kind of trying to replicate that in a chemically clean way. I'm trying to do in a less clean way, chemically clean still, but less clean. Gifo, welcome, if I didn't say that already. I'm also working on an experiment that involves fermenting. What I'm doing right now, this is the hydrolyzation part. And inside a body, this doesn't happen within an hour or so. So I'm trying to replicate that. Hopefully it works. I mean, I'm a bit afraid of the smell that it could give, but why? What? Yeah, I think that's there's more going on in that video than here. That's for sure. Let's see. How this settles. It is already really warm in color. Let's see if we can just go just a little bit further with that. I'm cleaning my digital pH meter, so I'm using, it still needs to dry, using strips for now. And I think I can neutralize the pH. Which makes it foam. Also, I don't want that foam to stay on top. Come on, just shake it through. More foaming, more foaming, more foaming, more. A lot of foaming happening there. Ah, that's a good one. I think this is more fluctuating, to be honest. Okay. Oh, absolutely. Still not there yet. There's a lot of reaction going on in this one. Well, cow urine is used as a, it is seen as a holy substance. It's used in rituals and celebratory events as a medicinal substance, I believe, as well. A healing thing. I don't know enough about that part culturally. Apart from that. Getting a tiny bit closer. Is there? As you can see, this one is way more reactive than the last one. Thanks, Mike. I won't do that, but I guess some people will. I'm afraid some people are doing that right now. Come on. Nearly there. I think this is we can use this. We can use this. Okay. So now for the magic part of this, waiting it for it to cool down a little bit more. So I'll keep stirring it until it's a lower temperature than it is right now. Also, can I still? Yes, I am still able to take this one. Yes, this is good. Okay, so this is good. This is good. Oh, a little bit lower. That is perfect pH-wise. Is it? I feel it's a little bit too low still. Okay, going to test that when the temperature is right again. Now I get it. First going to drink my coffee and then I think Fat Filbert, welcome. I think I don't know, either I am going to make this first or I'm going to see what it mixes with manganese blue. Not quite sure. Yeah, I don't know what they... Back then they thought a lot of things, and they did a lot of things that... Like, well, this is a little bit before that, even a little bit longer ago, but sleeping upright, sitting, because people were afraid that it was bad for your brain if you lay down too long, things like that. Weird things. Ugh. No wonder people were smaller back then, if they're always sitting. My back hurts just to think, thinking about it. Or that's my age. Probably my age. I think we can do a little bit of manganese blue. Do I still happen to have it here by accident? I think I do. Yes, I do. Should be in my toxic pigment cupboard, but this is one I work with more often. So I'll be just making a little bit of paint with this, and then I'll take off my mask again. So I really should think of making a little bit of space for this part of my process. Maybe I'm going to change things a bit up here. Nah, it's not that bad, is it? I actually feel more like Bane with this mask on than Darth Vader. That's just because half of my face is visible. You can focus, can you? Yes, you can. Everyone economists, bye, thanks for joining. I think the mask is scaring him. As it should. No, just joking. Do they sell genuine Indian yellow? Wait, looking up. I can't find it. What? It's not here. It's on the website. If you guide us through how we should get there. I know, I got my sample of genuine Indian yellow from them, but the owner sent it to me. I see cadmium, yellow deep, cadmium yellow lemon, light, middle, orange, chrome yellow, light, middle, orange, cobalt yellow, lemon yellow, Naples dark, Naples light, still the grain, and tartrazine. That's all the yellows I have on there. Early color pigments, maybe it's there. Early color. Oh, that looks more like it. Latin realgar, not there as well. We have litharge, madder, roots, Latin light, Latin dark, realgar. That's about the yellows. Gamboge as well. Still the grain. But that's the yellows that I have looking at it here. So guide us through where you see it, please, Mike, if you will. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's the tartrazine. You can see it in the if you look at it exactly like on Google, the Saturday Market Project, it says Indian yellow dash tartrazine. So that's the color that they do have. Yeah. Which is which pigment number? PY100, I believe. Sorry, we were working on Indian yellow here. To get the best greens, I'm using the cooler Indian yellow again. Soon I'll be mixing one with PR88 as well, you know, since we're now focusing on extinct pigments. I'll use the warm one for that. I was kind of shocked, I think, you know, I can't believe that they're actually selling that, especially because I've been looking for it actively for a while just to see if anyone kind of offers it or how they offer it or what kind of alternative hues there are. Everything about Indian yellow basically lately. Well, because of its light fastness, probably. I think it has been used as a dye, at least. But the reaction we're working on right now here makes a more stable reaction than just binding a dye to a solid or laking it. This is a happy green that this makes. Let's make a little bit more. So for those of you wondering and just joining, this is manganese blue, genuine manganese blue with genuine Indian yellow. For whoever was ever wondering what those two pigments would have done together if they existed in the same time and place, now you don't have to wonder anymore. Now you can just look for yourself here. Sorry, Fat Filbert, is this... I can't pull out. A lovely kind of apple-ish spring green. That I actually want to be a little bit more horizontal, if possible. All right, temperature is good right now. I'm letting this dry and hopefully watch some magic happen. There we go. Make sure everything is mixing well, but don't mix it too hard. Right, well, this is still running. Quickly going to check the pH. That's good. That is good. Just going to let it run for a short while, because I think we should be able to get a slightly better reaction. Slightly. It is reacting, but it's reacting quite slowly. I do see the solids forming, but I actually want to see I want to see some real flakes going on. And I'm not seeing that at the moment. And I think the solids are just a little bit too small for my taste, to let it sit down and settle. So just letting it go on for just a bit more. Also don't want to do it for too long, but Let's see if the solids aren't forming as big parts. Not enough. Yeah, definitely. With the amazing support that I got last Wednesday, I immediately I was overwhelmed, especially after the live stream. I was really overwhelmed with all the donations and all the support that I got. But I put that into action, and I found a supplier that could give me the better, more pure elements, aspects of this recipe that I would need for a larger scale production, and I immediately made the purchase. But that takes a while for it to get here. But yeah, I think that's the best thing I can do at the moment for this. Just having a look whether I can with purer options, how I can translate that into something that works on a larger scale, as well as improving what I'm working on right now. It really is a Gulchen. And when we're talking chemicals, but that's also something that I noticed with the chemicals that that I use for the kiln. When you buy like 90% purity or 95% purity or 98% purity, every step is so much more expensive, which there you go. Slowly doing something, which makes sense with these, you know, with the products that I'm using, getting it more and more purified. Even a small percentage really takes a lot of extra steps. I noticed that in making pigments myself as well. I can only imagine how that goes with pure chemicals, or as pure as possible. Okay, so I'm learning here as well. Temperature was too low for it to fully react, or to react the best way it should. Let's just add a tiny bit more of this. Yeah, that would be great. If the word kind of get out there, and instead of people trying to make it themselves, trying to support it, that would be amazing. You know, but with his brain and his lab and equipment, he can make this, I think, within a day. as well. But you know, making it while knowing that it's done versus coming up with it is something different. All right. I think come on, get in there. It's doing a lot. It's already doing a lot. But the fact that on its lowest speed it still stirs like a liquid says to me that the reaction isn't fully happening yet. But we can speed it up a little bit with this, because I think that should do the trick. But I don't want to overheat it, then it kills the color. So yeah, this is giving full focus on this. This is giving a beautiful kind of turquoise green. It's almost viridian-like, a light viridian, but I want to make a turquoise right now. That really stands out a little bit more as a turquoise. Right, I need to keep my eye on that. With a cyan-like pigment as you know, PB33, it's quite easy to make a turquoise like this. Okay, it's slowing down. Yeah, there it's going. There it's going. As you can see, it's slowing down the stirring. Just a little bit of patience and a little bit of additional salts were what it needed. So I'm turning down the heats right now, letting the residual heat do its work. I don't want to put the magnetic stirrer on higher. I don't want to break it down too much. I want everything to properly mix still, while keeping a good eye on the temperature. So this asks for a lot of precision, more than I initially noticed the first time I made it. I think then, then I got a version that is just, it's too yellow. But making it too yellow is easier than making it a warmer yellow, apparently. Also, I'm swatching here. Okay, so it's still slowly heating up. I put some insulating ceramic fiber paper underneath there. And I'm just taking it out because I want to keep that temperature as stable as possible for it to fully form. And the slower this goes, the eventually larger the crystals are going to be as well. To see if the chemical reaction works, all I need to do is put a UV light on it, and you know it's definitely that highlighter yellow. So that's good. Right. Chemically, the reaction happened. Now we need the physical thing to form. Right. Although from the side it's still turning quite a bit. The vortex in the middle is almost gone. So I think I'm going to turn it off. And now it's not sinking as quickly anymore. Sticking on my thermometer there. And there you see a pigment starting to develop. So I don't want to let this cool down too much. Actually, I don't want to let this cool down at all. So I'm going to put it in my dehydrator. Since there's a lot of liquid on the top that hasn't reacted yet, some of it will react still. Some of it will react when I'm putting it in a Petri dish. Right now I want all the solids to grow a little bit and settle more. And the extra liquid on top is also to protect it from not drying out while this is happening. So this is like this is good. I can also put it in a Petri dish, but then I already have solids that are kind of drying out from the top. And those can't form or react anymore. So I want this to do its thing right now, at least for 10 minutes, but longer is possible. So I'm just sharing as much as I feel comfortable with. I don't want to share too much of my process here. As you probably can imagine. If you can't imagine, start your own business and we'll talk again. Let's have a look. We can go a little bit bluer here. And now we'll also make a slightly more yellow version. So manganese blue and Indian yellow mixed. With the amount of blue that's in there, I would have expected a lot more granulation. So what I'm going to do, going to force the granulation to come out of it. Force it to separate, and it's already happening. It's already separating greatly, as you can see, as you might be able to see. It's already, the manganese blue is kind of being held by that Indian yellow, that organic Indian yellow stickiness, I think. Dissolving it with more water, or letting it spread out over more water, you can definitely see the Indian yellow still has some influence there, and a lot of influence when we look at it under UV, but the manganese blue is just settling and granulating as it should, you know, as it's famous for. Let's now do that with a more yellow version. So we'll just start a new tiny new batch here with a tiny bit of blue. Water. What time is it? Oh, I can't make it too long today. Does anyone happen to know Niall, or anyone with a anyone like that? Anyone who could sponsor it with a interest that lays in kind of within the same line, or anyone else? Just kind of see how that reacts when we make it that light green again. Because with this one, manganese blue is kind of overpowering the more it dries. Here we see a nice lovely yellow kind of shining through, but also already some separation going on. This camera again. Turn it on out of focus. It's kind of flickering a lot. Is this better? This is better. Come Come on, stay focused. You can stay focused. Right, just focus. Focus on this one. There you go. So with this one, there's definitely, you know, the manganese blue just shining through. Here you can see it slightly separating, slightly, not a lot. Again, with this and with the, you know, mixes with this Indian yellow, I really need to put emphasis on that. It needs a lot of water to flow in a beautiful way. I'm focusing on the color first, and then I'm going to, or basically the reaction first. Oh, that's a lot of the brown liquid, but that's good. My best Indian yellow so far, the warmest Indian yellow, had a lot of this liquid, and as you can see here, which really shows, there's a lot of this brown goopy liquid happening here, or yellow orangey liquid. The longer I wait, the more kind of brown it'll get. But that's also something that will could eventually be incorporated into the pigment if I treat it well enough, giving it that beautiful, clean, warm glow. But I shouldn't do everything, only the clear layer. And the rest of that I should take off or take out of it. So yeah, there is that. Any variations of this? Is not a lot of variations we can still lean towards, I think. I can obviously just make a swatch of the pure Indian yellow here. Also, interestingly, when this is a dried pan, it shrinks quite a lot. It's nothing near the same color when it's mixed with gum arabic. So this was quite interesting to me to see it drying up as a, well, basically kind of like PY150 does. I mean, it's a beautiful bright yellow, punching your face yellow. But this is the lemon yellow version, the cooler Indian yellow. And as you can see here, let's do it one more time. It lights up a lot. This one doesn't really. Okay. Let's see if I still have a small brush. Do I have a small brush? I want to clean this brush. I'm just going to clean this. And see how well this reactivates, as well as if it I need to pre-wet this definitely. But let me just have a quick look. Oh, there you go. There you go. There's a lot of color on that. This is a beautiful version, actually. It's hard to see because yes, there you go. So when the pen is wetted, as you can see, it is lighting up. And when it's dry, it isn't. That's really interesting. And this is clearly shining, lighting up beautifully. And that's the warmer version that I made, which pre-wet's really good. I mean, I didn't really see because the paint on that was the same. It's the same color as my brush. I expected it to be like more yellow, as I saw here on my brush, but that's good. I mean, it re-wets great. I don't need to pre-wet it. I thought I did. That looks good. And just because we can, let's also do a pure manganese blue next to it. Also because now I'm very curious. I want to know what kind of green that warm and yellow gives with manganese blue. That's actually really gorgeous. So there you go. I'll be making dots of this when I go offline, which is any minute now. Let's have a look what this is doing. It is still forming, and the amber color liquid in the middle, which is interesting. I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to move it too much, but hopefully you can, well, I'm just going to move up the camera a little bit. There's a layer here, there's a clear layer in between, and then there's the solid chunks. You can't really see it, I notice, but that clear layer in between could be kind of reabsorbed into the pieces. That layer on the top I need to carefully scoop off, and if I let it react for longer, which I definitely will, it could kind of get a little bit gelatinous on the top, which makes it easier to scoop off. So that's part of my now daily process. And I'm doing all of this. I'm kind of running out of some materials with this, but I'm doing all of this with the stuff that I have right now to have the best possible kind of process for when I get my the good stuff. I think that's the best way to put it. This is like chemically correct genuine Indian yellow. But maybe when I get the really like the good and pure stuff, I could get it more and easier leaning towards that orangey yellow, that warmer yellow, even more than this one. This is definitely a warmer version, but more warm kind of towards mustard like PY150 does, than a warm orangey yellow like Cambodge does, or the modern hues of Indian yellow do. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be cleaning off, making little dot pens and doing whatnot. I'm just basically cleaning here, letting that do its thing for now. And hopefully see you soon. Next week, Wednesday, probably, not earlier. Maybe Monday morning if I have any breakthrough. I'm not expecting too much tomorrow though. Speaking of Morrow, that was lame, but I did notice that after last live. This is the Indian yellow ink that I bought from them, and it has fully separated, which I think is something that they need to work on. With inks, it happens a lot quicker, but this, well, there's one good thing: there's no dye in it. That we know, right? So that's good. But yeah, that's just one thing. If you're considering buying Indian yellow things, I think that's one thing I should mention. I won't be making inks though, but I will be making the pigment. Guys, I hope you really have a fantastic day today, and hopefully see you soon. Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye.